I'm about to share with you 10 different ways to stay focused on your work. It is quite challenging nowadays when it comes to working on the internet or from home. We have emails, phone calls, Facebook chatting, Facebook profiling, Google Buzz, Yahoo Messenger, Skype, favorite blogs and websites we visit on a regular basis, Twitter, YouTube, and much more. We almost get buried from irrelevant activities that slow things down within our project, simply due to distractions to our work. Often we find ourselves escaping from our projects and going to those particular activities. At the end of the day, we wonder why nothing gets done. They are not only energy suckers but also time wasters. That's why I'd like to give you different ways to get more focused at your work so that you can get the most out of your available time. And here it goes. The first way is to make your work more enjoyable. Nothing works better and keeps you focused on your work when you do what you love. If there's something that you don't like, we immediately go into an escape mode, doing those irrelevant activities. Work only on activities you like. You want to do things that are interesting to you in terms of learning new things, improving your skills, and expanding your perspective. The ugly stuff, so to speak, gets outsourced. The second way is to eliminate distracting programs in your computer. Sometimes we like to work with an open email. When a new message comes in, we get notified by the software immediately. You may want to turn off all automatic alerts from cell phones and emails, especially when you receive emails on your phone and actually getting phone calls. When you work, it is a good practice to shut down all programs that are not necessary to get the task done. The third way to get more focused is to find a comfortable chair. When we sit on the computer all day long and if our posture is not aligned properly, we are going to distract ourselves by moving around. We just cannot sit down in one place for a long time. We get impatient. First, the chair is important. Get a nice chair with a back. It has to cover all your back, allowing you to have a straight posture while you're sitting down. Your spine has to be straight on the chair. It is important for the chair to support your entire back. There are some specifically designed office chairs you can get from Office Depot or Walmart, etc. Posture is everything. The way your muscles align on the chair determine the amount of energy you're going to need to get a job done, because if your form is wrong, you're going to lose a lot of energy and basically you're not going to be able to focus on your work completely. The fourth way to get more focus is to consider blocks of time. I've already mentioned a couple of times in some of my previous videos or audio programs that when you work on tasks, activities and routines, you want to work on 50 to 60 minutes of uninterrupted chunk of time. And ask yourself, what is the best time of the day where you're not interrupted by all the people or circumstances? 15 minutes is not enough. You need at least 50 to 60 minutes to get a job done. Don't exceed more than 60 minutes of working straight. After 60 minutes of focused work, you have to stop. If you don't stop or take a break, all the energy you're usually burning is going to melt twice as fast. And this leads to the fifth way to get more focused is to take constant breaks. It is fascinating to me how many people don't like to take breaks because they're so absorbed at their work and they're so focused. Breaks are designed to recharge your brain capacity and your emotional system. When you go to swim in a pool, you cannot swim for 3 hours straight. We get tired, so we have to take a break. It is the same concept when you get involved with a knowledge work. Breaks are just as important as the work. You have to remember that. And the sixth way to get more focused at your work is to keep your eye on the biggest outcome. We all have big outcomes and small goals. Small goals have short-term consequences, but the long ones have a long-term consequences. Often, we get easily distracted or sidetracked from our long-term goals and getting involved in multiple projects, starting relevant tasks, etc. If you start on one project or one website, stick to it until it's complete. Unless you have other people to help you out, you don't want to get involved with creating different websites at the same time and tapping into multiple niche markets. You're going to waste a tremendous amount of time and energy and you're not going to get much done. The seventh way to get more focused at your work is to make to-do and not to-do lists. At the end of the night, write down the important things you should do for tomorrow, that's your to-do list, and create a not to-do list for the things you should neglect. This is very helpful in order to distinguish the important versus the urgent. The eighth way to stay focused at your work is to look for a process. Most people get involved into tasks or activities that are unknown to them with respect to a bigger picture. When we work on certain pieces of a project, but we don't know the entire process or how the different pieces fit together, we're going to be spinning our wheels. There is order to everything. One task should be related to another. When both activities get combined, they create a structure. A project consists of multiple structures from which substructures emerge. Then there are individual components like tasks. When you link those particular tasks together, we get substructures. So I just want to share with you all the pieces from any process. And regardless if this is driving traffic to your website or getting leads or managing pay-per-click campaigns. The first is a project. It consists of multiple structures. The second is the structures itself consist of multiple substructures, and the substructures consist of multiple tasks. And tasks, those are the individual activities you get involved in to get a job done. This breakdown is quite important to remember when it comes to finding the process. The process should combine all the tasks to form substructures. The sum of all substructures should form a structure, and the sum of all structures should create the entire project. Let me give you an example. Your project is your entire website, yourname.com or whatever the website happens to be. Your structure is a product that you promote on that particular website. The substructure is your offer to promote that product, and the task or the activity is to drive traffic from Google AdWords via pay-per-click advertising to that offer. As you see, there can be many different tasks that can be linked together to facilitate the process and create a substructure. The substructure in this scenario is your offer. So we can get engaged in multiple activities that are going to help promoting that product. Driving traffic, adding testimonials to that offer, copywriting techniques to improve the offer, creating powerful headlines, etc. All of these are activities or elements of that particular substructure. You have to know the entire process or mechanism of your project in order to get certain job done. Instead of jumping from one activity to the next, you want to choose activities strategically that are going to lead you to your desired outcome. The ninth way to stay focused at your work is having the ability to deal with repetitive tasks. Inevitably, we're going to have tasks that are boring and repetitive. If you don't know how to deal with them, we get busy by doing irrelevant tasks like checking emails, social media stats, etc. to fulfill that need to do something different. That's why when we get bored doing the same things over and over again, we distract ourselves with the things that are not important to us. We need different flavors, so to speak, to engage us enough in getting the job done. So here's what I have to do. Choose a time of the day where you're alert the most and can work at your best. You want to do a series of activities that are of a repetitive nature when you are fresh and there's not much going on in your mind. For some folks, the best time to do this is in the morning. For others, it's after a long break throughout the day, whatever is more convenient to you. Boring tasks can be done on autopilot, and that's key. If we think of each task all the time, and if you try to do a series of them at once, we're most likely to lose ourselves, our motivation and creativity. That's why eliminating them at a faster pace is critical, otherwise you'll get bored. And the last but not least, the 10th way to stay focused at your work is to stop doing the insignificant stuff first. If you start checking emails, browsing through social media profiles and other irrelevant activities from the project, you may want to stop doing that. As soon as you catch yourself, stop. That's because usually the first thing you start determines your entire day. It is almost impossible to stay on top of things and get focused if you start our day unproductively. If you find yourself checking emails in the morning, take out a sheet of paper and write down 100 times, I'm not going to check my email in the morning. I'm not going to check my email in the morning. I'm not going to check my email in the morning, and so on. 100 times until you exhaust yourself. When I was in college, that was a very nice technique to get my hands dirty and to prepare myself for exams. I used to write down as many times as I can on a piece of paper the things that I would want to accomplish in order to integrate them into my subconscious mind. Okay, that were the 10 ways to get more focus at your work. Make sure you visit my blog at doubletimetoday.com. That is doubletimetoday.com for more information on time management and personal productivity. I'm Chris Diamond, and thanks for stopping by.